Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone this morning? So good, I hope. So good. I am coming at you on Art Journaling Day. I wanted to share with you a little bit of like what I've been creating, where I'm going with the page that we started last week. And then what I was kind of thinking about for today. Like I want it to evolve, but I really wanted to talk about, good morning, Valerie. Good morning. Hi, Sue. I will get your order out today. So I wanted to talk to you about, what I created, like where I'm going with the two-page spread that we started last week. I still have some ideas and some work to do. Remember, an art journaling entry is a constant work in progress, right? So I want you to really give yourself grace and do that. Like, don't feel like you have to finish it. And even if you post a picture, but then you think of something else you could do, that's okay too. So here's where I am. Oh, let's do this first. If you are brand new here, if you would follow, like, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, that would be greatly appreciated. And then please ask to join Stitch Along with Ann Facebook group and Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. So anyway, there we go. So here is where I am with what we started last week. Remember, I was originally, here's my original work that I did when I was at the hospital with my mom. And I was inspired by Dr. It'll come to me. Anyway, her scarf. Remember? These were the colors in her scarf, and then I posted that gray felt piece of art that I got these kind of funky, organic, but still kind of angular shapes, right? So this was the first one that I created. And then last week we did these circles and circles and circles. And so I stuck with those same colors. And then I started to do some black, remember, with the new Matte Hop black gel pen, right? And then I've had some other ideas. So I did a little bit of shading, right? So I really want to do, I don't know. I know I want more mark making on this page. I know I want more texture, and I just don't know exactly where I want to take that. So I'm going to leave that until I come up with something else. So let's find another blank page. Here we go. Here's a blank page. And today we're going to play with green. And so here's my, I wanted today's lesson to kind of be on art journaling composition. So when I start to art journal, I like to gather a bunch of pieces. So when I'm creating kind of a collage builder page, so I have all of these bits and pieces, right, from my art paper stash. Yeah. This one, because look at this green stamp right there. I'm totally getting that off, and then I will absolutely incorporate that. Oh, thanks, Laura. Hey, Lauren. I'm going to incorporate this stamp for Israel, which, you know, that one's near and dear to my heart. because of my Jewish husband. There we go. So one thing that I like to consider when I am creating a page like this is I like to work sort of in a grid. And so here's where I'm going to take that. So I'm going to take a piece of this page, right? And I'm going to kind of put this down like this. So I'm not putting anything down just yet. I want to kind of build it and see where I go. So I'm going to start with this. And then I have this piece, which that one's kind of cool, but it's really quite the same, right? So let's find something a little bit different. What if we put this one down first? Too much the same. All right, what else do we have? I really am digging this area of this page. So what if we just start, and I like that there's a little bit of pink in there. And this is just my off page, right? So this is the one where I just cleaned my brayer and I stamped off any extra paper, any extra paint that I had on my stencils. So remember that these papers can sometimes be your greatest treasures, really and truly, because you'll start to see things there that maybe you didn't see before. So let's go back. All right. Good morning, Denise. How are you? So I'm kind of, let's see, what if we do it this way? This way I have a little bit more contrast. Right. So do you see how I'm starting the grid, right? So we have a vertical, horizontal, right? And we're just going to keep going from there. So I also have this piece of washi tape, look, it's stuck on my camera stand, that I painted with some leftover color. I had some, this is the cactus heart washi tape, right? So that could go there, right? Or I could come up with, I don't know. So I want to incorporate that so much. Oh, thanks, Denise. I really like it too. I know. I thought you'd like the green sienna. I thought you'd like the green. It is her favorite color. Okay, so remember we're working on a grid, right? So we did this way, then let's do something this way. So maybe let's cut a skinny strip here. And you know what? If this doesn't work out, then, oh well, then we just stick it right back in the thing. Stick it right back in the stack. I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of digging that deeper green. And that's making me wonder if I like that a little bit better. Let's see. Don't get too precious with any of these papers, right? They're all, I'm kind of liking that because I got some good contrast. And remember, turn stuff, see if you like it better this way or this way, right? Digging that. I have this piece that I'm feeling like that might be kind of cool. That, right? Then I have this is art, let's see, this is Vintage Papeterie, maybe number 7, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, I printed it on a piece of ledger paper, so I'm going to cut out some of those pointy fingers. That's I'm kind of digging that, right? So, and here's a time to start thinking about, do you want your collage, right? Your artsy cluster, your assemblage, do you want it to be anchored in some kind of way? I usually like mine to be anchored, and so I might scoot this down so that it's anchored at the bottom of the page and the top of the page. Then it doesn't feel like it's floating, right? Or I might anchor things like this, right? I might anchor things. So maybe I start my assemblage from here. There's the anchor, right? Or if it was this washi tape, it could go from here to here. And then I build up and I build out and I build in all of the little nooks and crannies, right? So I think I want my anchor to be this. I just kind of like the artwork of the pointy fingers and the black. I think that really kind of works well with the helping pop off the page. So then I can start, look at that. Totally digging that, right? Totally digging that. And then, I don't know, let's see if we still like this. Maybe this is too big, too much, too, I feel like it needs to, these are both going in the same direction, so now I need something that way. Right, so I like a little bit over here on this side and a little bit over here on this side. Kind of liking that. And then this piece was torn, so this piece could totally just kind of come out from there. Totally digging that. Let's scoot that up a little bit so we have a little bit of contrast there. Maybe we flip this around. Maybe... And you're going to just kind of feel when it feels aesthetically pleasing to you, right? So we're just going to continue to build. And then I told you that everybody needs to get out a piece of an art printable that you want to paint. So I knew I wanted something kind of long and skinny. So I got out artsy posy fodder, and I think I'm thinking either maybe I do all three of those. I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of rough cut them out. See where we go. And these are all on, this is printed on copy paper. So I can certainly watercolor ground these and then paint. I could color, or I could not. I could play with them and just see what kind of where I'm going. So I like this, but I feel like I want a little contrast. So I do have a piece of book paper here, a piece of old dictionary paper. So I think I want to rip some of that, because that's going to give me some really good texture and visual interest, right? Kind of digging that. I think I want that to jut out from there a little bit more. Hem and haw. I kind of am I'm loving that. Like just something totally different, something, I don't know. I'm just really digging it. But then now I'm thinking I'm going to take the kind words washi, and I'm thinking I want to do a strip on here, on this piece. Like I want all the texture and visual interest that I can muster. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and just really kind of burnish that in to the paper. I kind of love this like rough tear on this end. That's kind of making me all kinds of happy. So, and that just kind of repeats this, which I don't know, that might need to redo that. Good morning, Nancy. So I'm going to take this biggest piece and, let's see. Get my glue stick out. And glue this down. Like sometimes you just have to start. Do you know what I mean? And remember, this doesn't have to be a work of art. This is just like some exploration with green this morning. By the way, if you happen to get a weird email from me, I was hacked. And so, please disregard the weird email. Please don't open it. If you do open it, delete it and then change your password. That's the best advice I can give you. Because that's what I had to do. It was a kind of a crappy thing to wake up to this morning, but I'm kind of digging that. I like the contrast of that. I'm kind of liking that more. This is the thing about art journaling. It's just all about exploration and figuring it out as you go. Unity texted or sent me a message first thing this morning and said, "Anne, did you send this to us?" And then, like 4 or 5 other people, like in quick succession, sent me messages that said, "Did you send this?" And like all kinds of like cousins and old design team members and people I've worked with and people I've worked for, all kinds of people. So I'm sure they took, my email and just send them out like crazy. So please, if you got one, hopefully check your spam or your junk email folder and just delete it immediately. I think I have rectified the problem, but I will concentrate on that a little bit more after class today. Anyway, everybody take a drink. Good morning, Kath. Okay, I know, it was just frustrating. It was just a icky way to wake up this morning, you know. I'm really liking this kind of limey green here, and I have this piece that I'm feeling like I could put I'm going to peel up this piece that I just glued down. Whatever. Right? that I can just tuck parts of it under there. Yep. Loving that. Let's glue. Right, and then glue this back down. So I read this thing, you guys, that I just found fascinating. I read this thing, and I believe it was on NPR, because it sounds like an NPR story. So there's this Bolivian woman, and you know, I've always been fascinated with Bolivian women because of their, like the indigenous Bolivian women, because of their, I promise it'll get better, Vicky. It will get better. It will. Especially after that second eye is done. Okay. So anyway, so these indigenous Bolivian women, I love their little bowler hats. I love their skirts, and oh my gosh, just all of it. Anyway, I love their artwork. So anyway, these Bolivian women, so this one Bolivian woman had a violent attack by would-be robbers, and that experience steered Lydia Mayta, M-A-Y-T-A, towards the martial art of Taekwondo. And so now, 3 years later, she helps train other indigenous women to defend themselves against rampant gender-based violence in the South American country of Bolivia. I'm telling you, I was so, holy smokes, what a powerful message, right? That she took her safety in her own hands, and she wants to do whatever she can to create a safe space and tools for all indigenous women in Bolivia. Oh my gosh, I'm just so impressed with her. And that she's turned herself into an activist. I love that, right? Okay, so I'm liking my composition so far. Are you liking yours? Is it kind of becoming what you want it to be? I still have this stamp that I think I wanted to incorporate down here maybe. So do you see how it's just working on a grid? And one thing to consider is to have things touch, right? So I knew that I wanted these two pieces to be connected in some kind of way. And so I had them touch right here. Do you see what I'm saying? And now I want to incorporate this stamp, and I want to have it touch too. So think about that. I see lots of, not in our group, of course, but I do see some people who art journal and everything is disconnected. It's just like it's all floating on the page. Try really hard to have your pieces, number one, be anchored in some kind of way, and also to be, have everything kind of touch and just work together. Like all those pieces need to work together. Like this page, I did all of this washi tape, right? And then I had colored it with my stamp pads. Remember that technique? Then I had this little skinny piece of a ledger paper, and I knew it would go with everything. Number one, because I had done that same stampy technique on this ledger paper. So I have connecting from colors, right? And this ledger paper is really, It's just the skinny little piece. So consider that. How can I connect pieces? How can I get things to work with one another? The same here, right? So I had that same washi tape. This is the piece that I cut off this page to work to make this sheet fit on this page, right? And this page, I had some that I had painted. I had, you know, all the things. Anyway, just start to, you want things to work in conjunction with each other. And they can be from all different mediums. It doesn't have to be like a whole sticker sheet or a whole art printable sheet. It just has to, they just need to work together. Look for the common ground between your elements. And like I said, it's real important to anchor in some kind of way, either vertically or horizontally, right? But then work in your grid. How else can I work in my grid, right? So I put this little stamp down here that's continuing to work in my grid and support my idea. Okay, so now I have all of these little bits that I can incorporate somehow in my layout. So this piece, these really mimic this, right? And remember when we talked about a rule of design is repeating things as a repeated pattern, a repeated color, right? So this might be a really good fit, but let's check the other ones out. This one is totally different, and that might be fun because it would totally pop, right? And we still have kind of a rounded shape here, right? So that's one to consider. Hi, Carrie. And then this piece has 3, and you know 3 is a really good number when creating an artsy assemblage because it's an odd number. So we have these 3 things to choose from, 3 different ideas. So let's start to add color to those and then start to begin to think about some mark making that we could use to kind of tie things together. And anyway, I'm just hemming and hawing. So I'm feeling like I have these colors down here that I think I want to repeat in these flowers. I want that nice bright peach color, and then that same light olivey green. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to think about these flowers. So, and remember, we can use any water-soluble medium we want, right? Oh, where are you in South America? I was just talking about Bolivia. Yes, we are live right now, Carrie Young. So where are you in South America? Inquiring minds want to know. So I think I want to use coral. Saltwater taffy. Shabby shutters. Right, persimmon. I think I'll get the vibe of the orange that I was looking for with that. Anyway, let's start fiddling with these. Let's start with this one. Remember, you can... Ooh, Rio de Janeiro. Nice. Man, oh man, I bet it was amazing. MSC. MSC. What is that? MSC. Everybody take a drink. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the lightest color. I'm just going to start getting little bits of color on here. And we can color over all these bits because we can come in with a different medium for those bits. Let's come down here with a deeper shade. Work up and down, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Get some nice blend going. I didn't this morning, Valerie. I'm just coloring straight on the paper. So it'll be crinkly, but that's all right. And we're not going to have as much blendiness, so I feel like I know. Oh my gosh, Carrie, will you take a picture of the Christ the Redeemer and post it in the group? So you'd have to go to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group to post a picture, but I would love to see it. That's on my bucket list. It's supposed to be quite impressive. So I'm doing a lot of my blending, Valerie, with my crayon, and then, when I come in, these are technically watercolor pencils, but you know what I mean. I'm going to do my blending here, so then when I add water, it's, I don't have to work so hard on blending. So I'm using Shabby Shutters for my stems. There we go. Yeah. So now, let's come in with some water. Okay, I wet it and then I'm tapping it off on my paper towel. And then let's blend it out. Tap, tap, tap. So that technique of blending with my watercolor pencils on my piece, that totally worked in this case. So, but I have learned, like, I need to blend from the lightest shade down in this scenario, right? And this is feeling quite light to me. My flowers are feeling quite light, and so I'm starting to think about, like, where do I want to go with that? What do I want to do? Bring my damp brush over here to these stems. Nice. So now I need to let that dry. And that means don't overwork it. So I'm going to talk to you about something else that I read. Okay, so, oh my gosh. So Peggy sent me the funniest meme. And you know, it was a little video thing. I don't know what those are called, but whatever. And I had just saved it. and it said, you find out that looking at bright colors releases dopamine, and suddenly your pink obsession makes total sense. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally me. That's totally me. Okay, what are the other things that I wanted to talk to you about? Something that I talked about, like I've talked about this a long time ago, and then and so I brought it up yesterday in Stitch Along, but I feel like we need to talk about it here too. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember we talked a long time ago about glimmers and how they're the opposite of triggers, right? And triggers are part of the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for perceiving danger, right? Its partner, the parasympathetic nervous system, is responsible for resting and digesting. It's part of the body that helps us relax and return to a base level. Glimmers live here. So, with that in mind, think about this. So, the author of this post talked about the glimmers that she had experienced. And they're just momentary experiences of peace, joy, and calm. So she said, my morning cup of coffee, laying in the sunshine, watching my children share a giggle, noticing new flower buds, garlic and onion sautéing, and cuddling up to watch a favorite show with my husband. So, I was kind of aware of what was happening in my world because of that post, right? So, Jeff and I were going to the candy store because he always buys Arizona candy to take to his clients far away. So we went to the candy store. It's this family-owned candy store. It's like sort of like a chocolate factory in downtown Glendale, which isn't very far from here at all. And you know what? They have the best chocolates. Anywho, on our way, our neighbor, it's springtime in Arizona. So the wildflowers are starting to pop up, and that's always a rite of spring, isn't it? So one of my neighbors has the most beautiful yard full of desert daisies. And I know, Valerie, I said I would post a picture, and I will. I thought about it again this morning, and it was like, you said you would do that, and you didn't. Anyway, I'm just kind of deepening the color in these flowers. So anyway, I stopped to take a picture because my mom is madly in love with desert daisies. And so, you know, I told you, I'm hoping that she gets lots of happy mail from lots of my artsy friends. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to snap a picture because I can immediately send it to her, and that will make her happy. So I did. I stopped, and when I got out to take a picture, and my neighbor said, hey, I'm going to charge you for that. And I go, fine, what's the charge? And she just laughed, and then we just started talking about desert daisies and how beautiful they are. And she said, do you have some in your yard? And I said, no. So she went in her garage and gave me this, an entire jar of desert daisy seeds. Stop it. And she told me, like, when to plant them. Like, I can't plant them until October. So I got to scope out my yard and see where I want to plant them. And then how to care for them after they bloom and start to die off. When to pull them, because you do need to pull them, like, once their season is done. I got in the car, and Jeff was like, you are entirely too friendly. I said, well, that's who I am. So, that was a glow, because a glimmer, they say, lasts 30 seconds or less, but a glow extends a glimmer. So I was super, super happy about that. Super happy about that. And now I'm all thinking about what flowers I want to plant this year and where I want to plant them. Teresa and I got my mom a Gerber daisy. I know, Valerie, please. Please. I'm telling you, in the morning, one morning, he looked at me and he goes, "You are entirely too chipper." I go, well, is it better than the opposite? Right? He's kind of quiet in the morning. I am not. I don't know if you picked up on that about me. Ha ha ha. Okay. So I'm gonna do some intricate trimming in here, but I'm getting excited about putting these on my page. Rachel Beth. Tammy, can you put a link to Rachel Beth? Please, please, please. He kind of is a morning person, just not very talky. I mean, he's not very talky, like, in general. So Rachel Beth comes out with new paint sets each Friday morning. And I missed a set when I was in Michigan that I really wanted to get because it was nice bright colors. You know, I like nice bright colors. Not because of the dopamine, just because I like nice bright colors. But the dopamine's like a nice payoff, right? Okay. Let's see. Where did I set? There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, you guys. That is making me so... Okay, no. Beam Paints is an entirely different handmade watercolor company. Beam Paints... let's see. I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if I can do... I know, I'm totally loving the flowers there too. But I feel like I might want... So I think I'm going to glue these guys down. Maybe not just yet. But now I want to... Thank you, Keels. Can you do one for Beam Paints also? Please, please, please. Okay, so now let's talk about... So I'm liking this so far, but I also feel like we need to do something to tie it together a little bit. Tie it a little bit together. And so I'm going to take parts of this. Thanks, Keels. I saw that. Aren't they beautiful, Valerie? Okay. So I'm going to... I'm thinking about cutting out some circles because we want to repeat that circle idea. Right? So now we have a really nice visual circle. Or visual triangle. Sorry, got circles on my mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Don't glue things down until you're kind of sure where you want to go. Like, I kind of like the idea of incorporating these little weird funky shapes, because that's going to kind of bring us together a little bit more. Kind of liking that a little bit better, like a little bit more funkified. Let's take this, some totally digging that. You know I do not like to waste, right? So I can do these pieces before I even consider where I want to go with my mark making. And these need to be brightened a little bit, and I don't know exactly how I want to do that. Like this needs some major something. I'm feeling like maybe, I think I have a white Posca in here. That might be the way to go. Let's see. Let's see. I do love my Sparkle Pops. I do, Valerie. I've been playing with those for years. I remember when they first came out, I taught a whole class at Scraps of Love, our local scrapbook store, on ways to blend with them. Let me know if you'd like to. It was a whole jelly pen class, but it was really about Sparkle Pops because they had just gotten them in the store, and we were all about experimenting and exploring and all the things. Okay, that's helping a little bit, but not as much as I want. So. Okay, I'm going to take those off, see what I think. Kind of digging that. So let's start gluing. How are we doing on time? Oh, we only have 15 minutes. Or 10 minutes, excuse me. You know what? We haven't even done the comfort book yet. So let's do that. So we're just going to open a random page. How to be random. When I'm in search of some evidence of the freak randomness of my existence, I think of the generations directly before me. I think of my grandmother on my father's side, who studied art at Central St. Martin's in the 1930s. As part of her course, she had a year's placement at an art college in Vienna. While there, she witnessed Hitler's annexation of Austria into Nazi Germany in 1938. My grandmother was Jewish, and almost immediately after the annexation, the Anschluss, I'm sure I'm not reading that correctly, Jewish people were targeted, paraded in the street, made to clean graffiti, publicly humiliated. My grandmother got out. She caught the very last train to France she could find, and according to family legend, was allowed on board only after flirting with the Nazi guard at the station. She was barely more than a teenager then, directly because of this proximity to the terrors of Nazism. When the war broke out, she decided to become a volunteer nurse and fell in love with my grandfather after he suffered burn injuries during the Blitz. They had 3 children. One was my father, who in the 1960s dropped out of Oxford University to study architecture in Sheffield. It was there he met my mother, who had dropped out of drama school in Bristol to go to teacher training college in South Yorkshire. My mother, who had been abandoned as a baby for reasons she still doesn't understand, grew up with her adoptive parents on a farm in Devon, hundreds of miles away from my father's childhood home in Sussex. Their paths not crossing until they both entered Sheffield's Queen's Head pub one day in 1969. This is not that remarkable a story, or rather, it is equally as remarkable as everyone's origin story. We all come from randomness. We exist out of uncertainty, out of near impossibility, and yet we exist. So when you feel the odds are against you, it is important to realize that they are never so against you as they were when you didn't exist. And there you are. We are existing. Come on. That was a good one, you guys. So maybe think about your origin story today, you know? How'd you get here? Everybody take a drink. So you would be interested in a jelly pan. All right. Well, now I'm going to have to put that in my noggin. So I'm feeling like I want to glue these bits and bobs down. And that was a good one, wasn't it, Denise? I liked it too. You just never know where somebody came from. I want that one to kind of connect. Okay, and these, I'm feeling like, I think I might want to add, I don't know, I think I want to add some kind of another element on here. Like maybe some twine or something, tie a bow. I feel like that might be kind of cool. I'm really feeling like this is kind of like all out on its own over here. So what can I do to get that to kind of connect. I don't know just yet. I don't know. Like this needs something else. Like part of me is thinking maybe some of my watercolor pencil, right? So what if we do some of this? Right? Maybe get some over here. Kind of digging that. Like that's starting to feel a little bit more connected. Deepen these a little bit. So maybe let's grow those a little bit more. By making it a little more bold. Ooh, thanks, Vicky. How are you this morning? I know your eyes are blurry, but how is the rest of my friend? This is, yep. And I like that it's, pencil, so I have some really good texture going on. This watercolor pencil on top of all these art papers. Yes, I'm liking this better. I don't know where else I want to go with this. Part of me is just feeling like maybe I just need to mix up some paint and do some painty mark making to kind of continue to bring it together. I think we're well on our way. I just need just a little bit of something more. Oh, you know what? I have these guys. What if let's go with Ripe Persimmon. That seems to be the deepest shade. So I'm just going to color some down here. And I have this big filbert. It's like a number 12. Oh, I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's beautiful. Oh, whoops. Let's get some deeper color. See, that's feeling really light, and I want it to be bright. So what can I do? What if I do this? Just kind of randomly. And I'll color those in later. I feel like that is helping, right? And just know it can just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow, right? But I like the idea of incorporating more of the corally orange color. Like that's really making me happy. So we have come to the end of our time together, and so I adore you all so much, and I'm so grateful, ever so grateful that you joined and that you're art journaling alongside me. I know, Valerie, I'm liking it too. And it started out something totally different, and that's the beauty of art journaling, right? It just continues to grow and grow and grow. So I will say, yes, Ornamentally Yours is the 23rd of March. My class is at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I will put my my supply list in the newsletter and in the Facebook group, the Ornamentally Yours Facebook group. And so it's called Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers, but it's something totally, totally different. I can't wait to share with you. And none of you will be surprised by the the art that we will create. People who don't know us might not get it, but you all will not be surprised, and you'll love it. I promise, you'll love it. I know, I can't say, please, I can barely say it one time. I can barely say it one time, Deb. So, everybody go out and make it a tremendous Thursday, and I will see you on Tuesday when we create again. I adore you all. Thanks so much, everybody. Talk to you soon. And hey, be on the lookout for your glimmers and glows. Bye, everyone. Thank you.